The amount of time required to prepare for a hunt can vary greatly, but whether it's a few days or several months, it can also be an enjoyable part of the hunting process. The anticipation of a new adventure, the scouting of an unfamiliar location, and honing the skills that will have you prepared for a safe and successful hunt. This is all part of the experience, and it starts before you ever step foot in the field. So let's take a look at things you should consider as you prepare for a hunt. Most states require hunters to have a valid firearm safety certificate before purchasing a hunting license. The certificate is awarded after successful completion of the state's sanctioned training course. These courses can go by different names, including firearm safety and hunter's safety, but the primary focus is on proper handling of firearms. Requirements vary, so check with your local wildlife agency to determine what they are for your state. It's important you consider this well ahead of your hunt, as there is often a field test provision and there may be limited dates available to complete it. In recent years, some states have also created an apprentice hunter validation. These programs allow a person without a firearm safety certificate to hunt alongside a mentor for one season under strict requirements. While this is an option, I would highly recommend completing the firearm safety course before you hunt. Not only will it provide you with a foundational understanding of firearms, but it will reinforce safe handling of your shotgun during the hunt. Once you've obtained your firearm safety certificate, you can purchase a valid hunting license. Make sure you also do this well ahead of your hunt in case there are any administrative delays in completing the process. Next, you will need to find a time to practice safe handling with a shotgun. A shooting range is the best place for this, and ideally you'll be with a shooting instructor or a mentor who can work directly with you. You may know someone who hunts already and be willing to help you out. If you don't, consider joining the local chapter of a hunting conservation group that's likely in your area. Range time will also give you practice in judging distance of your target and learning how to take shots at an ethical distance. Check out the links below to find your state's firearm safety requirements and shooting ranges in your area. When planning your hunt, you'll first need to decide what species of upland bird you're hunting. It's easy to look up hunting seasons on the website of your state's wildlife agency and find out what bird species are in your area. A good next step is to call a conservation officer in the area you plan to hunt. Let's assume that you're only looking to hunt on public lands at this point. A conservation officer who works for your state wildlife agency will be a helpful resource. He or she can point you to areas of hunting opportunity on public land in the area you're researching. In North America, we're fortunate to have an abundance of public lands open to hunting. The U.S. federal government alone manages 640 million acres of public land, much of it open to hunting. On top of that, there are state and county lands which provide opportunities for you. And additionally, there are programs in different states that pay private landowners to give hunters access to their land. These programs go by many different names. One of the places we hunted in North Dakota was part of a state program called PLOTS, which stands for Private Lands Open to Sportsmen. Make sure you look into these types of programs when you're scouting for land open to licensed hunters. Once you know the general vicinity you're going to hunt, you'll want to start your pre-hunt scouting by looking at maps of the area. Traditional methods of scouting involved a compass and a printed map. Today, handheld GPS units and powerful navigation apps for your desktop and mobile device can give you so much more information. Many of the navigation apps integrate their desktop and mobile versions so that your pre-hunt scouting from home is seamlessly connected to your on-the-ground hunting experience. You can view property boundaries, identify variations in terrain, and even add map layers that look at historic disturbances like fire or recent crop plantings for a specific location. Not only do these apps help you navigate within the boundaries of your planned hunting location, but they can also help you be a much more effective hunter. So what are you looking for when you're scouting for a hunting location? All wildlife is dependent on access to food, water, cover, and space. The need for food and water is pretty obvious. Cover is important in protecting upland birds from predators and harsh weather conditions. And enough space is needed so that birds can efficiently access food and water, as well as reproduce and nest safely. Many species of upland birds are found near areas that transition between habitat that provides access to food and water and habitat that provides cover. These are often referred to as edges. The edges you're looking for will vary by species, region of the country, and even the time of year you're hunting. For example, in Maine, we scouted an area managed by the State for Wildlife Habitat. When we looked at maps for the area we planned to hunt, we could see a parking area to the southwest and then a well-established gravel road that went north to areas of the forest that had been selectively cut for wildlife habitat. So, this looked like it had the possibility of being a good area to hunt. The disturbance created by cutting of older trees was plainly visible. We knew that this cutting would promote younger stands of trees, which would in turn provide good cover for ruffed grouse and woodcock. In Minnesota, we scouted public lands that had good edges and a different kind of cover that suited pheasants. When we looked at the map on this property, we could tell there was easy access from a county road to the south end. We could also see the variation in habitat with grassier areas on the east section, leading down to a draw with thicker brush and a pond to the western edge. So not only could we access this location rather easily, but it had water in it and some nice variation in cover which would create good edges for us to hunt. Ideally, you'll want to put eyes on locations you scout from home. We call this ground truthing, and while this isn't always possible, it can be extremely valuable. In doing this, you'll either confirm your assumptions about that spot having good potential, or you'll find something unexpected. And if this happens, you'll still have time to adjust your plans before you head out on your hunt. When should you go hunting? The right answer is to go whenever you have enough time, but of course you need to make sure that the time that works for you is also during a legal hunting season. Every huntable species has a defined season. These are the dates during which you can legally take the game by hunting them. Seasons vary by state, species you're hunting, and there is even variation year to year for the same locations and species. For this reason, you need to consult the State Wildlife Agency's website and regulations booklet on seasons and other laws before you schedule your hunt. While hunting on your own can be very enjoyable, I'd recommend going out on your first few hunts with someone that has experience. You'd be surprised at how many little things you can pick up from being in the field with an experienced hunter. If you are fortunate enough to find a hunting partner, I'd recommend you review your plans with that person ahead of time. She might have experience hunting in that same area you're planning to go and can give good insight on how to hunt it. Now that you know where and when you'll be hunting and who's going with you, it's time to take a moment and write it all down. This will be your hunting plan. Make a copy of it or take a picture of it so you can share it with your hunting companions as well as your emergency contact. At a minimum, you should share the date and time you're leaving for the hunt, the location you'll be hunting, and when you'll return. Also provide the name and contact info for anyone you'll be hunting with that day. By the way, this isn't to announce your favorite new hunting spot to everyone, but it is a way to help you stay alive in case you get hurt or lost during the hunt. On the night before your hunt, you'll want to take an inventory of all the equipment you're bringing with you and make sure you have it packed. You don't want to be miles away from the nearest signs of civilization and realize you forgot something. Make a list and cross-check it before you leave your home. One final consideration is whether there is mobile service where you're hunting. Many hunting areas have limited cell towers near them given their rural locations. If you're unsure, you may want to download to your phone an offline copy of maps for the area you'll be hunting. This way, you'll have GPS coordinates regardless of whether there's a strong cell signal or not in the area that you're hunting. Handling firearms while you're in new and unfamiliar wild spaces takes quite a bit of care and attention. Make sure you get a good night of sleep before your hunt. Remember, you'll most likely be setting your alarm for a much earlier wake-up call, and you'll definitely want to be rested and ready for your new adventure.